Gosh, I'm so sensitive. Nothing even happened. I stayed up late making a song last night.
My dad said something to me a few years ago. He said,
This is so sweet, this thing about We Are the World. Oh, God, I'm so sensitive. I'm so sensitive. Life has just always been so loud for me. I've really felt it this past week. I'm like, damn, there are little, just random moments throughout the day where I feel so uncomfortable. My dog's right here. My, come here, say hi. There are just little random moments throughout the day where I just feel so uncomfortable. I've always felt like that. Everything makes me feel uncomfortable all the time. That's why I tried to numb out for so long. Life is so loud for someone like me. If you're one of those people who relate, I feel like the people who have been watching like my actual videos on here, not just my shorts, like I feel like the people who have been watching like my long form videos, I feel like a lot of you are also very sensitive. God, and I started working on a project this past like week and a half. My ex wrote a book when we were together 10 years ago. And I'm realizing all he wanted was just to be listened to and not talked over by a drunk person. Anyway, so I was reading the book. I'm trying to make a concept album out of it. And, you know, I believe Romans 8:28, that all things are working out for the good of those who believe. And I believe that God removes people from our path if it's not, you know, whatever. God has his plan. And I quantum leap every single day. I quantum leap every single day, and every time these memories have been coming up, or memories of like people I hurt in the past, like I do try to like audibly say to myself that I'm like hundreds of quantum leaps away from that at this point. And it's true, I'm so not that person anymore. I'm not that person anymore. And I'm working on my self-concept and all of that, but you know, I know the best art comes from pain, but God, I'm so sensitive. I'm so sensitive. And like I've curated my whole TikTok feed, right? My whole For You page, so that it's like manifestation and like being the best person you can be in the present moment, and like building on that. Because I used to just be like plagued with thoughts about like my past and regrets and all of that. And I'm doing like everything to be the best person I can be in the present moment. I don't romanticize the past anymore. That's not the issue. That used to be like a huge problem for me. But no, I there's no part of me that like wants to go back to the past or anything. That's not even the issue anymore. Because I used to always remember this false version of the past that didn't actually happen, and that was an issue. But now if it does crop up, which doesn't normally, I'm trying to remember, that's another part of how sensitive I am. I always think that whatever emotion I'm feeling in the moment is what I'm always feeling, which is not true. But whenever stuff about the past does come up, it's more just like regrets and like I'm sad that I treated this or that person that way. But we're all doing the best we can with the tools we have at the time, all of us, every single one of us. I made some really good music last night. I find myself being like ungrateful. It wasn't for that project, or I guess I did work on that a little bit, that concept album, but I actually made a different song last night for something else. But my brain starts going. I'll make music and then I'll be like, it's weird. I found that I get this like ungratefulness, like, oh, I don't make enough stuff, or I don't do enough. But I've been slipping back into like being like ungrateful in the sense of like falling into this mind trap that I haven't accomplished enough yet or whatever. But like I do so much more on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, like 1,000 times more than I used to. I'm back in school, I'm getting A's. I have a business. I make music consistently, put it out consistently. I promote it consistently. I make music videos for myself now too. Like my creative, shall we say, like just my creative palette, I guess. So I'm a little sleep deprived. Is just so much wider than it used to be. But God, I'm really, really seeing. I do see now that like, of course, my success is inevitable. All of the greats have this same hypersensitive, like temperamental personality that I do. So, like, truly, it's only a matter of time. But also, the bad news is it's only a matter of time. I have a music video coming out on June 7th, which is this Saturday. I'm really proud of it. I made it myself, and I'm really proud of it. I think I did a really good job on it. God, yeah, but sometimes hate comments like really suck to deal with. My friend Wilson, he's one of my best friends, honestly, at this point. He's getting all these freaking hate comments on TikTok today for nothing. Like, it was just a video promoting his song, and it's just like people are so rude for no reason randomly. I hate it when that happens. So I was like responding to the hate comments and defending him, which was kind of funny. It's the kind of friend I am, you know. But there's nothing like weird about it, like either. Like there's nothing that was like so weird about the video. People are so weird on the internet. They're so weird. Someone said that I have like Adderall face or something. I don't even know what that means. I haven't taken Adderall in like 2 years. But anyway, so oh yeah, I posted this this TikTok I made. I posted it on Reels today, and I was basically like, you know, if you see someone comes up on your For You page and they're promoting their song and it's low-key bad, just know that everyone who was good had to be bad at some point first. And on TikTok, people were like agreeing and whatever, but I got this one comment being like, no, it's called like freedom of speech, and yada, basically being like, you should comment hate if someone's bad or whatever. So the internet is just a very wild and crazy place. See, even in filming this video, my emotions have ranged like so much. I really feel like I feel life 10 decibels louder than like the average normal person. You know what I was thinking about too? All the mean girls from like my elementary school or middle school or whatever, it was true, because I saw this reel of Ed Sheeran talking about how he was weird, and like if you're cool, you probably are boring and don't end up doing much with your life. All the mean girls or whatever when I was like a little kid, they're all just like living their lives like someone's wife in some house now. So of course, like my success is inevitable, you know? Of course it is. Of course. Oh, of course my success is inevitable. I'm exactly. I have all the same issues as all of the successful creatives. But the issue is that it is only a matter of time. It's, you know, and like, how am I going to handle it when I get that? Because I've done a lot of bad stuff in my life when I wasn't doing well, which I really think I'm here to be a testimony for what God can do for people. But it is daunting and scary, and to a certain extent, I'm always going to get some hate for it. I'm just not like, I'm just not one of those like people who just goes through life and does whatever and can live in whatever suburb. And I think that's the thing too. I get tripped up thinking about the people from the suburb I'm from and the place I grew up, and a lot of them are just still there. They got like jobs and stuff, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel regret because that was the first place I felt acceptance, because I always felt just like such an oddball and like weird. And but I remember that most of it wasn't healthy. You know, I was doing unhealthy things, and there's just I'm trying to cut myself some slack, because there's just, it was never going to be sustainable. And God removed me from that path for a reason. I'm trying to trust, but I'm a sick person, and sometimes I get in my head about that. Sometimes I get in my head about that ex. No, like, we probably definitely weren't meant to be together. My disease tells me crazy things about him. But again, like, this is all meant to be transmuted into art. All of it. My mom has this little Snoopy. Sorry, the video cut out, but I wanted to show you. My mom has this little Snoopy screensaver. My mom is the cutest lady, like, ever. Like, I don't know. She's a mom who, like, she's like a house mom, and it moves. I don't know why it's, like, just frozen here like that. But, gosh, whatever, the flash is not on, but I'm trying to remember that I've always been doing the best I can with the tools I had at the time, that I had this very hypersensitive personality, this spiritual issue, and it just, like, my parents didn't have it, they don't have it, and, like, I had this thing attached to me my whole life, and God, as a kid, I never knew how to articulate this thing I had that, like, no one else, not really anyone else, seemed to have. I could not articulate it. I could not articulate what was going on. Something was different, though, and I knew it, and I could not articulate it. And God, I'm so glad that I'm here, like as the person I am. That, first of all, I'm still alive. I know a lot of people who are not alive anymore, and I'm so glad that I'm kind of starting to even figure out how to manage the problem. I put a name to the problem finally, and figuring it out, and also knowing that, like, that's what makes me such a great creative. But it hurts, you know, like, there's, like, every time I've tried to take a conventional life path, it has not worked out for me. Every single time. This past year, you know, I hadn't accomplished anything in years because I was fucked off on drugs for so many years that I went to esthetician school to try to make my parents happy. And it made me so unhappy. I went to the school for 8 months. I knew the first week it was not a job I wanted to do. I didn't like not that I didn't like the commute. It just was not the right field for me. And I was all over social media trying to show everyone how much I was different, how different I was now. And I couldn't even fucking get hired for that job, because even though I trained it for 8 months, I got hired and fired from a job in 2 days, because I just, like, every time, like, when I was, like, younger, whatever, like, every time I tried to come off as, like, a conventional, normal person, it has never worked for me. And I was just watching this thing on, like, when they recorded We Are the World in the 80s, and, like, all of the best creatives, they're all highly unconventional people, and it's impossible for them to just take a conventional path, you can see. And so, again, that's why I'm saying my success is literally inevitable. But it's like, people think they want that, but it's like, do you understand the personality type that comes with being that person, like, that you're born with? Just how highly sensitive you are to things, how, like, everything is 100 decibels louder for you than it is for everyone else. It's like, I think a lot of people think they would want to be Michael Jackson or whoever, but it's like, do you? Because that person was in pain all the time, in a way that if you're just a random NPC who can just live in the suburbs and get a job and, like, health insurance or whatever, and, like, you're totally content and fine with that, and you don't think about, like, the greater things in life and, like, success. It's like, I have this thing, right? When I was reading my ex's book, that was one of the things that hit me, that he said. It was like, I forget exactly what he said, but he was like, I just have this thing where it's like, I have to live up to my potential. I have to live up to my success. And some people just don't even have that. Like, some people are just content working at a pizza shop. And like, and I remember when he texted me that, because I remember when he had a conversation with one of our friends at the time who he was just working at a pizza shop, and just like, there was no like, oh, I want to accomplish this and that thing. Like, what I'm saying, some people are just like so okay with just like being Joe Schmo. I saw that at esthetician school too. Like, a lot of them are just okay with being Joe Schmo in Cedar City, Utah, like working somewhere part-time as an esthetician, and like, but mostly just being a wife and a mom. And I mean, I guess it's good that there's not as many people who want to like do the things I want to do, but it's just like, I really am seeing, I'm like, damn, like there's a lot of people out there who don't have this like strong yearning to like do something great. They're okay with just being Joe Schmo, and I'm just not, and I can't be. I've tried being Joe Schmo, I literally can't. So my success is inevitable, good news and bad news. Oh, my little dog is sleeping. Yeah, it's my girl. Anyway, sometimes I need to just film these to be cathartic, for catharsis. Because, like, not to sound lame or anything, but, like, honestly, I don't really have, like, friends I hang out with right now. Because, like, I'm just, well, first of all, like, most of the people I was friends with in my teens and 20s and stuff, a lot of them were just, like, drinking friends, people I would, whatever, and so, like, on the path I'm on now, like, I mean, they had to be removed from my path, you know? God had to remove them, and I just wasn't really a good supportive person for a long time. But I'm so on my purpose now. Like, I do school, I you know, it's like I'm either doing my schoolwork, stuff for my business, I'm doing my music, or I'm working out, or, like, taking care of myself, or, like, you know, taking care of my dog. And, like, those are the only things I do. And, you know, I basically only hang out with my parents and my dogs. And, like, I'm at a point in life where I feel like having, like, a lot of friends is overrated. Like, and it's not that I don't have friends. I'm not saying I don't have friends, but I don't really have people I, like, hang out with in person. I've moved so many times that, like, the few people I do talk to are just, like, scattered about all over the country. But I do have friends. To say I don't have friends is not true. But I don't, like, spend time, you know, hanging out with people, worrying about what random people think, because, like, most people are not on your side. I'm sorry to say that. And that's not just, like, in my situation. It's like most people are not, like, it's like, if you, knowing someone is different than, like, actually being friends with them. Because you can have, like, acquaintances that you see often because you go to the same place or you know the same people or whatever. But it's like, that was a thing that I used to do a lot. Like, I would confuse, like, friendly acquaintances for, like, actual friends. But it wasn't true. I would just get really intoxicated and just, like, overshare and then think that we were friends because I told them my whole life story. But no, I'm just so on my purpose. So yeah, I'm trying to do this content creation thing, and I'm trying to be authentic and be as vulnerable as possible, because I talked about the whole, like, little church girl fiasco for 3 months when I talked about that in my last video. I basically put on a very inauthentic performance. This past year really, really showed me, like, how sick in the head I am. Like, I'm trying to cut myself slack for, like, how I was, like, literally addicted to meth and stuff, because it's like, I have always been so uncomfortable, and, like, I'm not well in the head. And then this past year, when I finally stopped all of that, whatever, the drugs, all of it, like, I really, really saw how mentally ill I am on my own without it. Like, oh my God, I had a really bad road rage episode. Like, I talked about that. It was really, really, really bad. And so, you know, you see Michael Jackson or whoever, and you're like, wow, that's so amazing. I wish I could, like, do that. Like, be careful what you wish for, because this is such a specific personality type, and it is not easy. It is not easy to have a mind like this. It's not. I'm so grateful though. I don't want you to think that I'm like playing victim or anything. I've talked about how like getting out of that victim mentality has just been vital for me these past couple, like this year, this past month. Like I really, like, I am not a victim. Everyone is born with certain things that hold them back in different ways. Everyone can claim victimhood over something. I do not speak victimhood over my life anymore. I'm so grateful. There were literally in my parents' condo building in Denver during the pandemic where I was staying at that time, there were 2 other people in my parents' hall who were both like severely struggling with like drugs and alcohol. And both of those people are dead now, and I'm still alive, you know? And like, I'm trying to remember, like, there's so many things like that too. Like, there were kids from like my high school class, like a few of them are like dead now, you know? And I'm trying to remember, like, even if I regret this or that thing, or I feel bad or whatever, first of all, present moment is present moment. That's all we have. So like, to just like worry about some bullshit in a different quantum field than like hundreds of quantum fields from where I am now is just ridiculous. And that's just a stupid little disease talking to me in my head. But also like when I feel that way, it's like, no, at the end of the day, I'm still here. I still get to, you know, do things. And so I always feel like these messages are channeled, and I film them when I feel called to film them. But they are very cathartic for me, and I'm just really grateful for my life, and I'm grateful for the people who are watching, because as I've been posting content consistently the past couple months, like I have been finding my audience, and that's really, really cool. The fact that like the art that comes out of me, like people really connect and resonate with that's such a gift. That's like one of the biggest gifts I've ever been given. More than like just dating someone, or more than like whatever, thinking I was cool because I got into like a certain school, or like thinking I'm cool because like I have probably one of the coolest gifts I've ever gotten was for like my art to find who it needs to find, who it needs to help. I really think that's like one of the biggest gifts I've gotten in life thus far, and that's only really been in the past couple months. There have been a few people before that, but so anyway, I feel so much better getting that all out. I actually feel it, like all of it coming off now. If you watch this whole thing, like, thank you. Seriously. You know, if you want to leave a hate comment because something about me bothers you or triggers you or whatever, like, I can take it, because, you know, it's at this point, it's practice for who the new me is. At this point, it's practice, because it's like, am I going to act like the old me, or am I going to act like the new me? Am I going to act like the me in the previous quantum field, or the one that I shifted into today? So, thank you guys. Love you. You know what's crazy? I wanted to film a little bit more too. So I was straightening my hair, and I realized a big part of why I was feeling so emotional for the past couple hours is because, so I flew back from Colorado to get like my car and my dog and bring them to Colorado. I'm in Utah right now. And the shampoo and conditioner I was using in Colorado was kind of making my hair like greasy and just like icky. And I just had gotten like used to it for like a week. And I just figured like maybe my hair is not doing well or something. But then I come back here and I wash my hair with what I have here, and it's like normal and good, and it's straightening well. And I am straightening it because I'm growing it out. And I get lots of comments about how my hair looks weird, and it's because I'm growing it out. So like, it's not something I really chose, but anyway, so I'm growing it out, and it's kind of at a weird length, so I had to style it. But I feel literally, it's crazy how much different, like just feeling like my hair like feels good versus bad, like that affects my mood so much. Like I am so freaking temperamental. I've always been like this. Like literally like 30 minutes ago I was sitting there like crying, feeling like it was the end of the world. And yeah, I don't know. This is me though. Appreciate you guys who watch me. Bye. Divas, we're okay now. I'm touching grass. It's not grass on this part, but touching a tree branch. Plus, I look so good. I've been working out. I look so good. That's how I should end the video.